world and just have some incredible success with it. So here's what I want to impress upon you. Fuel Factor X is not just a fuel treatment. Everybody thinks it's a fuel treatment. It is not. It's actual chemical reaction in the fuel. It's a fuel all-in-one fuel treatment. It's not a fuel add, it's a treatment. Write that down, because everybody thinks fuel. Here's the difference between additive and a treatment. Additives add things to the fuel, like octane, like cetane, and that's where people come into problems with warranties and things like that. Octane is what makes gasoline burn. Cetane is what makes diesel burn. If you can't use a product in both gas and diesel, it's not going to be safe for the engine. At some point, it's going to extend that burn on the octane or the cetane. So that's important to know. Everybody on Earth in the next year, I should say 99% of people on Earth are going to buy fuel. They're going to be burdened with having to take and put money in their fuel tank and burn out the exhaust. The other good thing about Fuel Factor X is as political things progress and as our environment progresses, green's becoming a bigger deal. Green meaning going green, reducing emissions, do your part to what you can. And everybody's aware of this at one level or another. But nobody's willing to spend money to fix it. How cool is it that you can save money on your fuel, guaranteed, and also reduce your emissions by 30%? You realize if everybody put FFX in their gas tanks tonight, CO2 would drop 30% by morning. It's a fact, and it's been proven by science. FFX is Nobel Prize winning chemistry. It's not a farce. It's been around since 1973. You guys want like a little nugget that I never shared that I probably should more? When I was in Vegas just yesterday or 2 days ago, I was telling some leadership about it. They're like, why don't you say that like when you're doing trainings? I'm like, well, maybe I should. So here we go. This product was originally designed by two scientists that did win the Nobel Prize for discovering the organometallic, which is what's in our product. What we don't talk about a lot is they designed this product for a little conglomeration called NASA. This product is rocket science. It was NASA put these two chemists in to get this product developed because there's a booster on each side of a rocket ship and they weren't burning evenly. So they went out and sought a way to create fuel to burn evenly and perfectly every single time. And the way they did that is through a process called atomization, which means making things smaller. So this is how it works in a nutshell. I'm not going to go into science and dive deep like you have to have a master mechanic degree to understand this, because I don't have a high school diploma and I get it. So I'm sure you guys are going to be fine. How many of y'all have started a fire before? Raise your hand if you started a fire. So when you start a fire, do you go out and find the biggest log you can find, or do you start with twig or kindling or something? Smaller stuff. Why? Because it ignites easier, right? So let's say for example purposes, your fuel cell is the size of a quarter, which it's not, it's way smaller. Once you introduce FFX and the chemical reaction happens in the fuel, your fuel cell is now the size of a dime. Therefore, igniting sooner, burning more of the surface area, and turning more into horsepower and leaving less coming out of the pipe. That's why it reduces emissions and improves fuel economy. It really is that simple. There's several other ingredients like lubrications. There's lubrication agents to extend the working life of your engine. You know, and a lot of people, I get asked all the time, is this going to blow up my car? Is this going to hurt my engine? Is this going to do this? Is this going to do that? And here's what I can say. In 1973, fuel prices was like 30 cents a gallon. This product was not sold to the largest mines in the world for decades based on saving money on fuel. It was sold based on extending engine lives and saving them a few $100,000 on rebuilds every year on those big equipment, pieces of equipment. So that's important for you guys to know. So when people say, hey, is this going to hurt my car? And say, no, actually it does the opposite, because it's been sold for 4 decades based on the fact that it actually extends the working life of engines, not blows them up. And that'll help you guys a bunch, which is a 100% true statement. And that's where the product was from the 70s until 2008. That's a long track record of on. It's not sold in network marketing. We didn't go find the latest berry out of an Asian monkey and put it into a bottle to sell to people. This has been around forever, being used by some of the largest fuel users on earth. And it was repackaged for the first time into these foil packs and these 4-ounce bottles. And that's when I found it, and that's when it was distributed through our old company. Now, how many of you remember just a few weeks ago, or a year and a half, 2 years ago, all over the news, Putin's invading Ukraine. They're coming across the border. It's going to happen. I was sitting in my living room right behind me watching that on the news. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And they're talking about shutting down pipelines. Remember how blessed was that time? Fuel was like $1.98, $2.40, depending on where you're at in the world. And as soon as they come out and start talking about shutting down pipelines, I called Josh and I said, "Are you watching this?" He says, "Yep." And I says, "You know what we got to do?" He says, "Yep." And that same night, I called the manufacturer, told me I need to talk to Josh. We got to get this put together. And by the next morning, Fuel Factor X was owned by My Daily Choice. And my whole life came full circle. So technically, in 15 years, I've been in one company because that company is now here. And how cool is that with the marketplace? Are you guys seeing all these big companies, small to large, all different sizes, rolling into our marketplace? I mean, we did incredible things with this one product, and we did incredible things with just the HempWorks product, but now we have all these different brands rolling in. And make no mistake, here's what I'll tell you. If you want to get information out of Josh, just go play cards with him at like midnight in Vegas. I did that Friday night and I learned a lot. And I'm telling you, a lot of cool things are coming to this company then in 2024. And I believe we're going to double our monthly sales each and every month by the end of 2024, maybe even triple. And there was some people in Vegas, I can't tell you who they were. They own companies. They're looking at coming in. There's a bunch of companies already in the queue trying to get their products into our warehouse so we can launch them and really create what we're talking about with this marketplace of Amazon leadership. I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's not only going to help a lot of people with, from saving money on fuel to their health and wellness, to their weight loss journey, their personal development, everything. It's also going to help a lot of people make a lot of money and doing it the right way. This is why I love FFX. It is an IQ test. If you really think about it, it's an IQ test. This is how I sell it. I'll talk to my friend. I'll say, "Hey, you see this bottle right here? It's $60. Are you going to burn this 320 gallons of fuel?" I said, "Are you going to burn 100 to 200 gallons of fuel in the next month or two?" "Yep." "Great. If you give me $60 for this bottle and you don't save $150, I'll give you your money back. You find a stockbroker that'll give you 100% ROI and I'll give them all my money. If you can guarantee it like we can with FFX." So it's the easiest product I've ever found to sell, not even in the industry, out of the industry, whatever. It's super easy to sell. And the good thing is it works so well. And humans are, we're creatures of instant gratification, right? Sometimes we don't spend the 90 days to lose the weight, or we don't spend the 3 or 4 months to see if CBD is going to help with our cramping in our hands or whatever we're using it for, right? But if you go run 2 or 3 tanks with FFX, you're going to see the benefit and you're going to want to buy more. And the other thing, it is the most highly consumable product in network marketing. Anywhere. There's no other company that can say, "Hey, go land a big account and on a $300,000 a month auto ship and we'll pay you like it's a distributor." Right? Nobody's buying $300,000 worth of weight loss or